Straight ahead on 12 News, a new restaurant that's known for good food and good works.
Someone falls down on their luck, you don't just set them aside and you can bring them back into society.
Then, police and firefighters getting thank you messages for their service. But first, it's about mobility. Who has access to cars and who doesn't along the proposed Bottineau light rail line? 12 News starts right now.
Hello and thanks for joining us. We are learning more about the impact the Bottineau light rail line may have now that the Met Council has released the final environmental review. The
report shows more than 20% of households in Brooklyn Park do not own a vehicle. That makes it difficult to get to parts of Metro that have jobs. But University of Minnesota researchers have found expanded transit options should help. And Delane Cleveland has more on that. Delane?
Now, Mike and Alex, the University of Minnesota conducted a study that looked at unemployed, transit-dependent people who wanted to find work. Those people may be qualified for jobs in other suburbs, but they don't have a way to get there. Light rail transit would help change that.
Proposed transitway network, including Southwest Light Rail, including Bottineau Light Rail, and the many planned bus rapid transit corridors, could benefit communities such as North Minneapolis, Brooklyn Park, Midway communities in St. Paul.
Yingling Fan is one of the University of Minnesota researchers who conducted the study. She and her colleagues found that if all the proposed transit corridors are fully built out, that would help increase job accessibility for those who are dependent on public transit. The study found people who don't own vehicles have trouble finding public transportation to the entry-level jobs they're qualified for. Brooklyn Park residents in particular stand to benefit.
And specifically, Brooklyn Park, we actually see job accessibility increase of 23%, which is a pretty sizable increase.
Now again, this report is basing its facts off the assumption that both the Southwest Line and Bottineau lines are built. For a look at the study, you can go to our website at 12.tv. Mike?
All right, thank you, Delane. Well, after a resident voiced some concerns, Brooklyn Park is studying how fast cars speed through a section of Brooklyn Boulevard. A man who lives on Brooklyn Boulevard between Highway 169 and County Road 81 told the City Council earlier this month it's not uncommon for cars to travel 55 miles an hour on that stretch of road. He says local residents have trouble getting out of their driveway, and a wall on his property has been hit 4 times. He's asking that the speed limit be lowered to 35, and Brooklyn Park traffic engineers are taking a look. Well, if you live in Brooklyn Park, there's a good chance you've heard of the Fat Chance restaurant.
The business opened recently and it already has a loyal customer base. Reporter Sonia Goen shows us how the restaurant is dishing out good food and also serving the community too.
So we can smoke about 15 racks of ribs at one time. It takes about 4 to 6 hours.
As soon as you walk through the door, the smell of smoked meats hits you.
Second day we opened, someone came in and tried to buy us out.
Fat Chance opened a month ago, and it's been smoking hot ever since.
Word spread out on Facebook. We just taken off since then.
Co-owner Ben Dossman has lived in Brooklyn Park for 14 years. He says he knew the old Jack's Bakery location was the perfect spot for a restaurant, especially since the building is right across from North Hennepin Community College.
It didn't have anywhere to eat in the immediate area, so I put 2 and 2 together, said we might as well open up right across the street from the school. The space was available.
Hungry students and regular folks come for the savory sandwiches, where the meats, including ribs, are smoked in-house.
I actually came in the first week they were open and was so impressed with the food and the nice people who work here that twice a week I've been coming in.
Jerry Gibbs says her favorite sandwich is the tractor.
It's pulled pork and then there's coleslaw on top, and underneath it is sliced sausage. So it's something different, but it's delicious.
Besides dishing out sandwiches, the shop is also helping in the community. Some of the staff is made up of former or current residents of Affirmation House, which is a nonprofit that assists homeless men.
I was there for 3 years, and now that I'm working here, and I'm got me another apartment and move on, you know.
The owner of Fat Chance says investing in people is just as important as making a profit.
I'm a firm believer in people deserve second chances. You know, someone falls down on their luck, and you can bring them back into society and get their lives back on track.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
And speaking of business, there are some significant business expansions in Plymouth. Medical technology company Entellus Medical cut the ribbon this week on an expansion that doubles its size in Plymouth and will bring in around 45 new jobs in the next year. Wagner Spray Tech, a global company that manufactures paint sprayers, announced it will bring in 66 new jobs with the Plymouth expansion. The expansions help Plymouth in the form of property taxes and overall economic impact.
To bring a lot of jobs into a community, people need housing. And granted, they may be relocating or expanding in the near area, so that's not going to be immediate, but I think long term, it's just great to have them in our community, not only if they live here and work there, but as the Councilmember Johnson said yesterday, they are residents whether they work or live here. We consider them residents.
Another local suburb is reacting to a new state law that allows small homes to be placed in yards to take care of family members with medical issues. The Golden Valley Planning Commission is the latest to recommend opting out of a state law allowing those temporary health care dwellings. Unless they opt out, cities must allow them starting September 1st. And planners are citing health and safety concerns as well as having just enough space. Several local cities have decided to opt out or are in the process of doing so.
Maple Grove Police have a new tool to help them do their jobs better. And these are called Go Bags, and they're used on medical calls. The emergency bags have things such as gauze, gloves, Band-Aids, plastic handcuffs, and even extra ammunition. Police say the Go Bags will allow officers to be better prepared in a crisis situation.
When police officers get into these buildings, they're running out of resources, and perhaps more victims can be saved if we have bags like this. So we're very happy that Centerpoint was willing to give us a $2,500 grant.
One of the bags will soon be in every single Maple Grove squad car. Police, firefighters, and city council members are all tasked with serving the community.
And sometimes the jobs they do are taken for granted or come under fire with high-profile incidents. And today, some middle school students had a simple message to share. Thank you.
Police officers, thank you so much for keeping my city safe and protecting it. Thank you so much.
The students' words of thanks for police, firefighters, and city council are part of a community service day for middle school students involved in several different summer programs at Osseo Middle School. There were other service projects too, but saying thank you to those who put their lives on the line felt like important work to these students.
If police officers and firemen weren't here, people would some of us wouldn't be living today. Because when house catches on fire, firemen risk their lives and they're brave enough to come and help us. And then police officers risk their lives when we need help if somebody's breaking into our houses or anything else.
Around 150 kids participated in the Community Service Day. Well, coming up, we'll take a look at summer travel and one place you can go and save some money.
And then a little bit later in sports, we catch up with the top football player in our area on what I did this summer. That's our series.
But first, it's your AccuWeather forecast. One of the most expensive times to travel just about anywhere is right now during the summer months.
But this year you can travel overseas to Great Britain for less money than you normally would spend. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains how Britain's exit from the European Union, or Brexit, could mean a cheaper international vacation.
London is rich in culture and experience, but it usually has a price tag to match. This summer, when the UK voted to leave the European Union, travel for Americans to Great Britain got cheaper.
My husband is from Liverpool, so we try to get back there as often as we can.
Katie Welsh, her husband Gary, and new baby Teddy live in Crystal, but keep a close eye on travel to the UK.
And we just had a little boy back in October, and so he's going to meet his grandparents for the very first time, so it's a very exciting trip.
When they heard about Brexit influencing the value of the pound, they went to exchange money for their upcoming trip.
We did save probably, $30 or $40 in our $300 exchange, or give or take.
And this year, the prices have been really reasonable.
Nora Bloom at Travel Leaders in Maple Grove says they have been watching the value of the pound since Brexit.
We have to. Our customers are asking all the time, and we really do feel that it's our job to stay informed so that we can help you make the right decisions as a traveler.
She advises while you shouldn't plan your entire trip based on changing currency rates, it can be a nice perk if it works in your favor.
We've seen the hotel prices go down a little bit. London's always been an expensive city, so any discount you can get makes it a little more affordable for most people.
Make no mistake, traveling to Britain is expensive, but right now the exchange rate is the best it's been in 3 decades. So if this destination is on your list, this could be a good time to go. For Money Savers, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
And coming up, life on the farm, a chance for an up-close look.
But first, young football players learn from high school athletes and coaches at a local camp. John Jacobson is in next with sports.
Matchups are now set for the first round of the 16-team Division I State American Legion Baseball Tournament. 3 local teams are in the field. Friday morning at 10, Sub-State 9 champion Champlin Park meets Eastview at Maple Lake. Then at 1 p.m. Friday, Wayzata plays Fairmont at Clares Field in Loretto, while Maple Grove will meet host Delano at Delano's main town field. Each team will play a second game as well later on Friday. High school football players get started with their first practices of the fall in a few weeks. In Maple Grove this week, some of the Crimson players are helping youth in the program.
Family on 6. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6.
160 youth football players from grades 3 to 6 are taking part in a camp 3 evenings this week at Maple Grove High School. For 90 minutes each night, they have a little fun with their friends while working on some basic football skills and techniques.
I've been running, catching, learning how to stand and stuff, yeah.
I've been liking the tackle one over there with there's that big mat over there, and then you can tackle the big, and you land on the mat, those big things.
Where you get to tackle and learn more stuff about how putting your hands up and everything.
Maple Grove High School players are instructors for the stations at the camp. Many of them went to camps like this as youth, making this week fun for the Crimson varsity guys.
I went through this program when I was in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and I really enjoyed seeing all the varsity guys come out, and it was about the coolest thing in the world. So
it's always a great atmosphere. We always come out here, we just have them jumping around and everything. They just love it because it's they do look up to us a lot. So I mean, having us here, it really means a lot to them, and it also means a lot to a lot of us.
I think football is about the only seasonal sport left, so every time we get them out there, it's important that they enjoy it and that it's a fun thing that they just don't want to give up. A lot of the other sports are 10 months a year and 9 months a year and 12 months, and so football is very much a 3-month sport, so it's important for those guys to realize just how fun it is.
Youth football starts up in August. The first high school practices for teams across Minnesota are on August 15th. It'll be tough to top last football season in the area. 12 Sports' Jay Wilcox is taking a look at what athletes in various sports are doing over the summer to prepare for their seasons. And here's Jay with What I Did This Summer.
This week on What I Did This Summer, we meet an Osseo bruising offensive lineman who's getting set to play college football at a national power.
Nash Jensen's putting in a lot of time to get ready for his senior season at Osseo, and beyond that, college football. He works out at Game Face Training in Brooklyn Park.
I come here 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday for an hour a day. I either do upper body, legs, cardio, and what you saw today, ladders and stuff. Just work on footwork and work on getting me to my full potential.
Nash is verbally committed to play for 5-time defending FCS champ North Dakota State.
I loved it there. Their education is top-notch, coaches are top-notch, best atmosphere in college football no matter where you go.
Osseo has a rich football tradition, but it still surprised many when they won 3 close games in the state playoffs to capture the first on-field title in Orioles football history last fall.
It still hasn't sunk into me. Every day I look at my championship ring and say, I don't believe it. Coming back from those big deficits and then to get to TCF Bank Stadium and beat East Ridge by 1, it was the best feeling I've ever felt.
Jensen was used as a tight end for part of last season, usually as an extra oversized blocker. But for one memorable and very key play in their title run, he became a pass catcher.
I knew it was going to come to me at that point. They had been keying on our other receivers and Prince so long that was just the time to do it, to get our team fired up and to get that last score and that 2-point conversion. I don't think I'll ever have a play like that again in my life, to be honest, but I'm glad that it came at that time.
Osseo has a new coach and graduated some great talent, but Nash Jensen and his fellow offensive linemen are working to bring the team back to a championship level. For What I Did This Summer, Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports.
It's hard work. You got to keep in shape, and he's certainly doing that.
Yes, thanks a lot, Chad. We'll be right back.
Thousands of women will descend upon Maple Grove next week for an annual fitness event in a new venue.
The Gildan Esprit de Ski 5K will have a new starting point at Maple Grove Central Park. The event takes place on Thursday, August 4th at 6:30 in the evening. Now, if running or walking a 5K isn't your thing, you can also have the option of taking part in a 1-hour Zumba class or a 30-minute yoga session led by instructors from Lifetime Fitness.
We try to inspire women to keep moving, to keep up that healthy way of life, and that's what this is. This is for those busy women out there who are trying to juggle a job, juggle being a mom, juggle all of these different things.
You can register right up to the day of the event. The cost to sign up is $45.
Life on the farm, even at the Item Homestead in Brooklyn Park, goes on, rain or shine. Well, taking out the rug and giving it a good beating is one of the chores that would fall to the kids who lived on a farm back in the year 1900. And today, visitors can get a hands-on look at what life was like. You can even help out if you want. Every other Wednesday this summer, the homestead is open for visitors to check out what some call a simpler life.
We always hear comments of how they love coming here. It's slower paced, it's nice, relaxing, and you can just sit and let your cares drift away for a couple hours. And so it's a great opportunity, and you really don't have to go that far from home.
The cost is $5 for adults. Children 4 and under are free. And on Thursday night, there's a free concert at Item Homestead. Choo Choo Bob will be there starting at 7 o'clock. A simpler life, and they have no computers there.
Yeah, might be good for adults, too.
That'll do it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here again Thursday, starting at 4 o'clock.